We just got word from NBC News that they spoke to DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, and they said that this was a ramming issue and that a gunshot was fired due to a car ramming into their officers. I don't know if it was into their officer's vehicle or into officers themselves. Are you hearing anything like that from witnesses on the ground?
Yeah, a few witnesses when I first got here did mention that there was some sort of a car crash or some sort of a ramming incident. They didn't at that time know if it was something that was intentional or if it was, you know, an accident or anything like that. But that is something that we had heard from a few witnesses when we first got here to the scene. Since we last spoke a few minutes ago, there has been some more smoke that has been launched. It's kind of escalated a little bit, a little louder, more snowballs being thrown. We are seeing a lot more police kind of moving in, Minneapolis police officers moving into the area, and the chief has been a little closer to the scene. I don't know if you can see, but there's members of the police leadership team right in front of us that are gathering, and so they are, you know, obviously trying to get a sense of the situation. And like we said before, we are trying to, you know, get a hold of them to try to get some information about what happened. The crowd has kind of moved and then come back. It's been dispersed when smoke has been launched, but it doesn't appear that, you know, people are wanting to leave, that the smoke is not deterring anyone. They are kind of gearing up to stay here for the day.
And Gordon, have you seen any federal agents, any police officers leave the area, or are you seeing more of them come to 34th and Portland?
They were more widespread earlier, kind of all around the street. The last couple of minutes, we've seen more of them move down to this area. You might have seen earlier, there's kind of like a line of police officers, so it seems like this is the corner, this is the spot where people are kind of hunkering down. And so a lot of the officers and a lot of the agents that were spread out down the street have kind of come down here. They're kind of operating more as little as needed down the street just to kind of block traffic, but everyone else has kind of been pushed over to this area. And just a few minutes ago, we actually interviewed one of the homeowners here, who's kind enough to let us, you know, sit on their property so we can get a good vantage point. And they, you know, mentioned that it was around 8:30 this morning when he saw everything that happened right down the street where these cars are. He said it was, you know, federal agents, and from what he hears, they were serving warrants at the time. He believes he had heard it was like 6 different warrants that they were being served, and that is when this incident happened with the shooting.
All right, Gordon, thanks for that update. This is a situation as we're going to stay on air for you and follow this breaking news right now. We are working right now to get some more information. Again, we have NBC is sharing with us that they have a source saying that DHS is reporting that this is a ramming incident. So, Gordon, you know, we've heard a few different cars were a part of the scene. Again, can you just tell us again what you have seen as far as it comes to those cars?
Yeah, and we could show you right over here, just down the street. So we probably showed a shot earlier. The SUV that is up against the light pole, there is a bullet hole right through the windshield where the driver would be sitting. And we haven't, from a witness here tells me they heard 3 shots were fired this morning, but we've only been able to see the one kind of bullet hole through that windshield. And then there's the 2 other vehicles, a white car and a red car that are in front of it. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of other police cars and kind of undercover, it appears, types of cars from maybe federal agents that are around this area. So that is where this incident happened this morning. Now, we've just been hearing from different witnesses, you know, of who they believe were shot, you know, and so we're trying to confirm that information for you. We don't want to put any wrong information out there. But, you know, pretty much everyone does agree that it was someone was shot during some sort of a federal agent operation this morning.
All right. Thank you, Gordon. We're getting some new information right now. And Gordon, stand by, please, sir. Because there's a conflicting information now between what DHS is saying, which is that this car was being used as a weapon to ram officers, either on foot or in a car. We don't know. But NBC's reporting, and I don't know if you've heard this too, but some witnesses say that the person may have been attempting to leave, to flee right? And there's a difference there. Has anybody told
Yeah.
you specifically that they saw something there on the ground? Is there any witness that you've spoken to?
Yeah, a few witnesses have told me that they believe it was an observer that was here for the incident, and that was the person who was shot. We have heard from other witnesses, however, that claim it was someone who was potentially a target of a warrant that was potentially running away, is what NBC might be reporting. So that's what we're trying to figure out, if it was someone who was here observing, or if it was someone who was actually the target of it.